Cosmic Dead, Rainbow Head, motherfuckers! Woo! What's up? Come up here, say hi to everybody. Come on up here, say hi to everybody. Come on. Come on up here. Oh, look at here. There's my bubba girl. Oh, you doing okay? What's up, people? You all doing all right, man? Cheers. Brother Brian here. Got the little lap dog here. She's spoiled rotten. Got a few things written down that I had on my head today. I was thinking about different things today, which we all do. That's the Cosmic Dead. The name of the album is called Rainbow Head. Pretty good album. But today I'd like to talk about art, politics, and religion. So, I don't know how long this video will be. You guys are probably ready to go already. Just with the title. You're probably surprised you're even fucking here. You bunch of sorry ass motherfuckers. But let's just talk about some different things. And let me say this. I write this stuff down so I don't fuck it up. So, I don't want to fuck anything up. Okay? I got it down to A through E on my list of things I'd like to talk about. And number E we'll start with, and I want to say this, these aren't facts, okay? These are just my thoughts. Okay, I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just sharing some thoughts with you. Let me turn that down just a little bit more. Alright. Maybe that's a little better. But art, I got these big old books sitting around. Sometimes I'll just, when I'm listening to some music, man, I just love these big books, these big, beautiful animals and shit, man. I just got all the photography in there and shit. And then it talks about gorillas. Talks about the places that they are, shit like that. I mean, I just love art. Books with art, poetry. I love poetry. Love going to museums. A lot of times you can go to a museum and just the architecture of a museum or an old building or an old church, to me it's art. You go out in nature and you see all the beauty. To me that's art. It's all different forms of art. Music, what we're listening to right now, Cosmic Dead, that's art. It's just another expression of art. I've been redoing my house a little bit. I'm in this, I made this little lounge area back of my house. So I've been enjoying that. I'm not out in the garage tonight. It's like 90 degrees. Fucking humidity's through the roof. So I might go out in the garage later and smoke a stogie after the sun goes down or something, but I ain't going down there right now. But art, politics, and religion. And I love talking about politics. I don't like fighting and arguing over politics, but I like to talk with different people about political opinions and their thoughts and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with talking to different people about what they think about it, because everybody has a different opinion about different things, and that's a wonderful thing. Just don't let it just totally drive your life, whatever it may be. Well, art. I think, and I would say that, art is one thing that, we should all emphasize that in our life, our daily lives. Always try to bring in some art. If we're out working somewhere or doing something, always try to look for, art. It's everywhere. Art's everywhere. I mean, it's on the beer bottle. Took an artist to design the beer. Took an artist to design the bottle. I mean, it's everywhere. Art is everywhere. It's an expression of somebody's soul. That's what art is. It's something that somebody is creating. It's creativity of a person's soul. Politics. Politics nowadays is fucking out of control. We got everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting with each other. And to me, when you start talking about politics, that's the first thing that happens, is somebody's looking for a reason to fight with somebody else. And more than likely, when you got all these opinions, these viewpoints with political things, more than likely I'm wrong, you're wrong. There's a whole lot of wrong out there in the world, and there's no reason for people to be fighting over politics. I think that, who was that? That was Charles Barkley. I think it was Charles Barkley. He was talking about that. But he said something, and it really stuck with me. He said, divide and conquer. It's like our government is trying to divide us and conquer us. And I kind of see that. I mean, if you really step back and look at, whenever you think about politics, you're always ready to fight and tear somebody's ass apart over politics. And it's like our country's split. We used to just be split into like two pieces. Now we're split into about four pieces. We've got a lot of different, well, it's probably more than four pieces, but we've got a lot of different areas in our lives. Depending on what part of the country you live in, depending on, whether you're rich, middle class, whether you're poor, whether you're black, you're white, it's just, there's all these different things that divide us as a nation when we should be pulling together, because we're just one nation. We all have to learn to live together under the one set of rules. We've got one set of rules. And anytime you start talking about politics, man, that's the thing, is it's automatic. It's like you want to fight with somebody and stuff like that. And I understand when people get in fights and arguments. That's why I try to overlook it, because that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to fight, and they want us to argue and shit like that. And I try not to fuel the fire and fuel the hatred. Somebody's got a different political opinion than me. I'm not gonna kick their ass for having a different political opinion. That's just life. Everybody's got different opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, even me. Religion. Now, talk about religion a little bit. I've been raised up in church my whole life. I had two uncles that were Baptist ministers. Daisy's distracted me here. Go sit down. Go sit down. Be a good girl. But yeah, two of my uncles were Baptist ministers. I was married for, almost 20 years, and my uncle, who was a Baptist minister, he married us. I've always been in church, and I had a kind of like an awakening. I feel like that God kind of had given me an awakening, and kind of pulled me out of the religion. There's a lot of religion, man-made religion that has totally destroyed, what good God has for us. Now, yeah, I believe in God, and I don't believe that, when you die, there's just nothing there. I just have my own personal religious beliefs, but I don't promote religion. I think religion's a damn joke. If you're religious, then that's fine. Like I said, I'm not dogging you. I'm not dogging your religion. I'm just saying my opinion. I just think of religion's a joke. Okay, I went to church at this church, and I was actually in a leadership role in the church, and I was involved in the daily, the weekly ministries and all that stuff. And I had a real tough time in my life, and they basically kicked me out of the damn church. Get the hell out of here, Had some crazy shit going on in my life, and instead of the church loving me and trying to encourage me, they were more worried about the money and how it was going to affect their wallet. One of their leadership people in the church, got in trouble. I didn't get in trouble, but there was some trouble that I was involved in, and they were really afraid about that situation. So, so that's just it, And if you go to church, and I've seen this, you go to church. It seems like churches nowadays, they're kind of like politics. They really are. They teach separation. They want people to be apart. They teach you to hate people. It's like if this person doesn't do something, then you should hate that person. And to me, I just think that goes against everything that God wants us to believe. Not to hate people. Now, there's plenty of reasons out there not to like somebody. But to sit there and say that God wants you to hate people because that person's a sinner, or that person's doing something that you think is a sin. Now all of a sudden you got to ostracize that person and put him in a category. To me, I just think that's bullshit. Let me shut this door. Air conditioner just came on. Thank God for the air. Let me read some of this stuff here. One of the things here says, politics will reveal a person's soul. That's one of the thoughts I had today. Religion is supposed to help the human soul. Then I put here, I said, we need more art in expression of our soul. And so there's the condition of, and number one, it was the condition of a man's soul. And I'm always self-evaluating myself. Because I know I am so far from perfect. I am far from perfect. And you are too. We are all far from perfect. We should all be striving to become better people. And life is a test, whether it's politics or religion or even art. There's different things that test us. Life is a test. We go through a test every day of our life. And some of us fail miserably. And some of us fail often. Well, we should always try to do better every day. We should always, when somebody says something to you, as long as they're not being malicious or hateful, maybe listen to what they're saying. Maybe they're trying to say something to you that's going to help you become a better person. Then the last thing I wrote down, I says, where did the rules of life come from? We got all these rules. Where did the rules of life come from? We got politics. Politics dictate every day. They got the government's always telling us all these different rules. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to pay your taxes. You got to get up and you got to go to work. And you got to work, you got to do something to earn some money. And then when you get that money, you got to pay some taxes. And then you got to go buy a house. And then you got to do all this shit. It's like, and in religion, there's a whole nother set of rules. You got all these rules. And that's what I was thinking about today. It's like all these rules that we got in our life. Where do these fucking rules come from, man? And and all of a sudden, everything's it's like, well, this thing's set in stone. This is just the way that it is. And it's like, well, why the fuck is that rule set in stone? Maybe that rule fucking sucks, you know. But one thing I've learned in life is I have a conscience. I have a soul. And there's a lot of times, when I'm faced up against something, I don't have to have some type of rules to tell me what, to do this or not to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So my conscience or my soul tells me whether that's right or wrong. And, and you see a lot of this shit going on in the world. And you see people doing this crazy shit. They're always fucking out there doing crazy stuff. And that's what it always messes with me. It's like, don't they have a soul? Don't people have their own conscience? Don't they have their own soul? Just because the government tells you something is all right, or a church tells you, hey, it's all right to hate somebody, that doesn't mean that it's right. You got to learn to listen to your own soul in a lot of situations. You got your own conscience. You got to tune into that shit and be able to make your own decisions. You can't sit there and go through life listening to every fucking body. You got to get to a point in your fucking life where you got to make your own fucking decisions for yourself, and then you got to learn how to deal with the consequences of that decision, because a lot of times you're going to do something and it's the wrong fucking thing, and you're going to have repercussions of that, because every action, there's definitely a fucking reaction, and there's a lot of fucking bad karma that goes out there. Karma is the thing that keeps the universe in balance. And if we didn't have fucking karma going around in the fucking universe, then you would have fucking one sect of people fucking dominating the fucking world. And that's why there's a lot of things that happen. That's why the pendulum always swings. It's because a lot of that is karma, because it's keeping things in balance. Okay, that's what karma. You can look it up. Just get a damn book, Google it on your damn phone or whatever the fuck you want to do. But that's the purpose of karma. Like if I do something that's wrong, I'm going to have to deal with some karma. That way I have to learn that was the wrong thing to do, and I have to deal with the consequences. Or a lot of times when you sit idle and you don't say nothing about a situation, and it starts eating at your soul, and then eventually karma's going to have to teach you a lesson about doing that too, because life is a test. Every day we're dealing with the test. That's why we are here. That's why we are here. I'm telling you, that's why we're here. We're here to be tested. We're here to be taught. We're here to be educated, and that's why you have all these things in the world, whether it's religion or politics, or it's our job, or maybe it's just driving down the street, going to the grocery store. You might get tested on your way to the damn grocery store. There's all these things in life that are always coming at us. Maybe somebody needs something. I gave a guy a ride to the gas station yesterday. He's like, he was a poor guy, didn't have a car or nothing, and he asked me, he says, hey, can you give me a ride to the gas station? I said, sure. So he said, I'll walk back. He said, just take me to the gas station and drop him off. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. And the hell, I'd give him a ride back, So I took him to the gas station. And get to the gas station, he looks at me, he goes, hey, man, will you give me a ride back home? It's like, well, fuck yeah. But, sometimes we don't realize how blessed we are. Just the simple things like that. It's like, this guy, he needed a ride to the gas station. For me, and maybe you, and a lot of other people, going to the gas station, that's a simple thing. But to a lot of people, that's a chore. You got to get out. It's 90 degrees outside. He didn't have no air conditioning in his house to cool down or anything like that. And he needed to get to the gas station and come back, and God only knows how long it would take him to get down there and back. I think he was about 68-year-old guy. So, we don't realize how blessed we are a lot of times. But, that was a test. That was a test. And I think, in life, we got to learn to be good to people, man. We got to learn to put ourselves aside. Sometimes we got to learn that when somebody's calling, you got to learn to pick the phone up and talk to them. Maybe they need encouraged, And that's one of the things that always drives me up a wall is when I see people taking advantage of people's goodness and kindness. That always drives me up a wall. But that's part of the test too, because that person's going to have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Just like everything else in the world, you know? Now, do I believe in God like the church believes in God? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe in God like the church believes in God, you know? Because the church is man-made religion, okay? Just like politics, that's man-made bullshit, okay? Politics and organized religion, that's all man-made shit. You know, that's why you should have time, you know, go to an art museum, go out to the park, you know, sit down, turn the damn phone off, you know, stare at the water, you know, light you an incense. I got an incense burning. Find you a nice quiet spot and just sit down and just allow your soul to speak to your heart, you know, and allow. Sometimes you let these things go in your life too, you know, and you get a lot of stress out of your life, you know. So, you know, that's the thing about the world, man. Is it's just cranking. This world is cranking and cranking and cranking, and you know, I was talking to this guy at work today. He just got out of college. He graduated from the University of Cincinnati. He's an engineer. He was 20. He was 23 years old. He was a new employee at our job, and he came in. He was an engineer, and it was funny because they told me, said, you know, there's some people out here you probably shouldn't talk to, you know. So he comes over and talks to me and shit, and we start bullshitting and stuff. And he seemed like a really nice kid, right? And he likes to fish, you know. And he was telling me, he says, you know, I just don't have the patience to fish. I just don't have patience, you know, to go out to the lake and fish. And I told him, I said, look, man, I said, here's the thing. I said, when you go fishing, you can't go out there expecting to catch a fish. You know, that's the trick to fishing, right? When you go fishing, it's an experience, okay? It's an experience. I said, you know, I said, you just graduated college. I said, you know, when you go fishing, you got to study. You got to do your research. Where you're going to fish. What are you going to use? What kind of fish are in that lake? You know, you got to get on YouTube and go Google it and figure out what that fish wants to eat. I said, and then you got to get you a tent, get you a sleeping bag, get you a grill. I said, get out there and expect to fish for 2 or 3 days. I said, just don't even worry about catching fish. I said, get everything set up. You got to get you a cooler, get you some water, get all this stuff set up. Then you're out there. Then you have to learn to slow yourself down. You know, stop. Listen to nature. Enjoy your surroundings. Turn your damn phone off, you know? And I said, and if you catch a fish, that's just a bonus. I said, if you catch a fish, that's a bonus. That's a reward. You know, it's like go out there and do all this stuff. And if you catch a fish, that's the reward, you know. But if you don't catch a fish, you're still going to be blessed for being out there and enjoying the time that you have there. I said, you can't be, you know, you got to disconnect from this rush. You know, you got to just disconnect from all that shit. And that's really hard to do nowadays. That's really hard to do because there's just life and a lot of people's jobs and the way that they got, you know, I really am blessed. You know, I'm a weekend warrior when I go fishing and stuff, but I'm really blessed that I have time and I got places and all this stuff where I can just go out and disconnect and do a lot of fishing. So, you know, anyway, I just wanted to get on here and just bullshit a little bit about politics. You know, I know this isn't, you know, a political or a religious or, you know, and all this other fucking shit. You know, it's just, I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys, you know, because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I got this new channel. I still got my old channel, but I'm kind of letting that sit on the back burner right now. And I'm going to try to get this channel going. That way I got a couple channels. I got something to bounce back on just in case something happens to my other channel. So, you know, I got these fucking trolls and shit are always trying to get my ass kicked off here for, you know, I don't know. I guess they ain't got nothing better to do. So, anyway, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, man. God bless y'all. I'm out of here.